Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 19th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started with our analysis shortly. So I think there's some news this morning. I'll mark that up. I think that's why the market was very volatile pre-market. Typically, it's been pretty slow this week, but yeah, I think because of the news this morning, price decided to push around a bit. I don't think it was high impact. I think Thursday, Friday are more high impact, but we'll see where this ends up taking us. All right, room looks good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, here we go. Perfect. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And once everybody's in here, we'll get started with our analysis for today. All right, morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, April 19th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. Let me check the calendar real quick to see if there was any news this morning. I think there was something this morning, but let me check again. Wednesday, April 19th. Actually, there's nothing this morning. There's something at 7:30, which is crude oil inventories. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. So we got crude oil inventories, or we got 7:30, and I think that's about it for today. All right, so it looks like majority of you guys are starting to make your way in. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Will. Morning, Glenn. Morning, Kenny. Morning, David. Morning, Maria. Morning, Martha. Morning, Stern. Morning, Karen. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So market is opening in about 50 seconds, guys. You guys will hear opening bell when the market opens. I think I have my TD open right now. Yeah, so market is opening shortly, about 40 seconds, guys. Other than that, I don't see anything else on the calendar for today aside from crude oil inventories. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Crude oil inventories at 7:30. And then we have the Fed speaking later today, but that's like way later. So, all right, let's go over and check this real quick. So I got a couple lower lows here that are marked up. This is where I kind of am anticipating a bounce to happen at some point. So I got that marked up right there. So if price comes down, during this session, I think price will probably bounce off one of these areas and then push up a bit higher. So I got this marked up over here. There goes opening bell, guys. Market is now open. Looking across the board here, everything's pretty much bullish still. 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 1, 5, and 10 are also bullish. As I mentioned before, guys, if you guys sat in on the mentoring session yesterday, I think Badu asked me for an analysis of the market. I mentioned I thought it'd be bullish. The pullback happened over here pre-market, as you guys can see. Basically, around like 4:30 to 6:30, some pullback. Actually, until 2 o'clock. So basically, London session price pulled down a little bit, and then it shot all the way up. So if you guys sat in on my mentoring session yesterday, we pretty much anticipated this to happen. If you guys remember, I think Badu asked about it. Said what I think about price moving, and it did exactly that. So if price starts to pull back any further, I'm still looking for the same thing here. If price pulls back, I'm expecting price to likely swing back to the upside. Reason for that is because of retail sentiment. So retail sentiment right now is currently 66% short. This indicates that 66% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at CNBC, the Dow is currently down actually. So it's down 92 points. S&P is currently down 24 points. NASDAQ's currently down 116 points. Oil is down 1 point, and the 10-year bond is currently up 3%. So with that said, there's not really too much going on right now. It's pretty flat for the most part with regard to S&P and the Dow. It's not really down 100 points. It's currently kind of just right down the middle. Not down the middle, but it's down the middle with regard to it being past the 100. So there's no strong fundamental bias right now. Retail sentiment is still bearish. So I think price will swing up eventually. If price does come down, it'll swing right back up at some point. Also looking over here at the technicals, a lot of the timeframes here are bullish. So, we'll see what happens here. I think it'd be better if price pulled down a little bit and then shot up. We'll just have to take it as it comes. So we currently have a higher high right now. If we get a sell signal that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 down here, then we would have a possible entry for a sell. We don't have that yet, but that's kind of what we're looking for. So we don't really have a very strong bias today. The bias is pretty neutral. It's bullish neutral, but it's not one-sided. So if we get a sell here, it would still be identified as a proper entry. Currently have a higher high right there, looking for the sell signal of breaking close past the pivots. But we'll see where this ends up taking us. So we got that right there. And we have opening price right there. So that's basically target price point, passing past that blue line right there. Let's go over here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark up opening time right there. I'm going to mark up 8 o'clock. I'll mark up opening price. And there goes our clean chart. So right here, again, we're looking for the same thing, guys. We're still looking for a sell signal to break and close past pivots 1 and 2 right here. So if we get that sell signal right there, possible entry. If not, we still got to wait. So we got about 30 seconds left on this candle right here. Last candle didn't close. All right, so this candle here, if it closes too big, guys, again, as I mentioned, whenever a candle closes too big, you might want to wait for a retracement because this candle here is pretty huge. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be entering this right away. This candle is way too huge. As you guys can see, it's about 400 pips, 500 pips. Definitely not entering this. I don't think I'll be entering this at all, guys. This candle is way too big. So I didn't enter that trade, guys. Candle just way too big. Price would have to retrace quite a bit. And you can see if price retraces to the candle, it's going to stop you out. So I didn't enter this trade right here. I'm just going to watch it. I'm not in the position, but I am watching it. Yeah, the candle's way too huge. Not worth the risk. Hey, Dan, how's it going? AT morning. Yeah, so I'm not in this position right here, guys. The reason why I didn't take it is this candle is way too big. As you guys can see, I'll measure it for you guys. This candle right here was about 600 pips. That's double of what our stop loss would have been. So I'm not looking to take a risk right there. Not to say that this won't play out, but it's not one that I'm looking for. So I'm not in this position right here. I'm not going to take it for a late entry. It's going to follow it, see where it goes. Candle is just way too big. Looking for price to probably come down and test those lower lows. So as you can see right here, guys, the trade did hit. I didn't take the position though, so it's not going to count. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but this here was just way too big of a candle. It did play out exactly how it should have. There's a higher high right there. Sell signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. Candle's just way too big if I didn't take it. But if you guys did take it, it did hit full TP right there. So on to the next one. Currently have a lower low right here. So if this swings back up, possible entry for a buy. Yeah, Eunice said it may hit liquidity on the bottom 1 hour, 30 minute, then go bullish. That's kind of what I see too, Eunice. All right, yeah, that's kind of what I see too, Eunice. Looking over here at the 30-minute 1 hour, that's kind of what I was looking at right there. I was looking for price to come down, test this area, and then swing back up. So I'm with you on that too. That's a lower low where I'm expecting to bounce. We currently have a V1 variation right here setting up. So this might be the correction to the upside. Can't say for sure, but possibly. We do have a lower low right there. So price does push up and provide a buy signal. There may be a possible entry for us there. But there's a V1 variation coming up right here, double body. We'll see if it continues to, to push up from where it's at though. All right, candle's pushing. And there's no V1 variation there, guys. As you guys can see, another lower low is established right here. So price actually pushed down lower. There's actually a new lower low right here. This might be a V2 variation. It's still a lower low with the red candle. If this closes with a strong green candle, then this could be a possible V2 variation if you guys know that strategy. It's a messy chart right now, so I'd be careful. But yeah, I mean, if this ends up being the case where price pushes up from this point and provides a buy signal here, breaking closing past pivots 1 and 2, then there could be possible entry here. But at the moment, we don't have anything here yet. So the candle here is not very strong. It's not going to be a V2 variation. In order for it to be a V2 variation, we need a low with the red candle and then a following candle, a strong green one. This one here is not strong because it has a huge wick on the top. So this right here is not a V2 variation. I mean, price might keep retesting this area. It's kind of what it looks like right here. There he goes. Price comes back down again. Another test. So I wouldn't be surprised if price continues to drop a little lower and then just establishes a new lower low and then continues to try and set up for a reversal pattern. That's kind of what I'm anticipating and waiting for here. There's no entry here though for any type of strategy from my expect. Oh, well, there might be a V3 variation, but I don't really follow that one. It's the weakest one out of 3. But there's no V1 here. There's no double body, double wick. There's no V2. This candle over here wasn't strong enough. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it just drops a little bit, establishes new lower low, and then just resets the process. A lot of consolidation right here as price goes sideways. As I mentioned before, guys, I don't like when price does this. Typically, if I'm looking for an entry, I need that lower low and I need a strong green push to the upside. If we have that possible entry, if we get this consolidation, probably no entry there. But as you guys can see, price is just in a very large range. Here's a clean chart. And I'll draw the same thing on here as well so that you guys can see. It's a very wide range right here. Here goes price retest the area. Retest of that zone. Here's a clean chart as you guys can see. Nothing really going on here. But the support looks pretty strong for the most part. You can see how many times it's tested it here. So this might be a fake out right here before it swings back up. As I mentioned earlier, it might establish a new lower low, which is actually better for us because I want this to go lower. There was no reversal pattern at that bottom. So if this here closes with a green candle, this will technically be a V1 variation. Again, another opportunity here for possible reversal to the upside. Have the lower low right there. If we have a strong green candle, or not even a strong green candle, if we have a smooth push, so a lower low here, V1 variation, push to the upside, break and close past pivots 1 and 2 with the buy signal, then this will be an entry for a high level momentum scalp. We do have a V1 variation here that's currently pending right now. Looks like it can possibly push, but we'll see. See where this ends up going. All right, so it did not close with that green candle. So again, right here, another opportunity, guys. I just established a new lower low again, so there's no V1 variation there. Again, if this here closes with a green candle, possibility of it pushing up, but as you guys can see, the market's super choppy right here. You guys want to be very careful about taking entries. I think this here looks a lot smoother because this here is flush with the other low. So this looks like a double bottom right here. So price pushes up from this area and provides a buy signal that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 right here. Then we do have a possible entry for a high level momentum scalp. Also, if this candle here closes with a green candle, it's going to be a V1 variation to reversal pattern. So that might be the initiation for it to start pushing back to the upside. However, looking over here, there's still some room for it to push down. So just be careful about your entries. Wait for the actual confirmation. Yeah, we gotta wait for the actual buy signal to break and close past pivots 1 and 2 over here. That's a V1 variation right there. Not very strong, but it is a double body, it looks like. We have a pending buy signal right there, guys, but it has not closed. So there's no entry for us yet. If this here breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 right there, the blue pivot, then possible entry. But right now, there's no entry for us to take. So we need this to push pretty high. Either there's no signal here, or we have it push pretty high and break past the pivots over there. But it's not looking like we're going to get that right now. Also, not very smooth push to the upside. We have a lower low here, but this candle here is a bit of a mess. If it pushes down lower, it's just going to establish a new lower low, which is also fine on our end. We don't really need this to push up from this point. We need it to push lower. The lower, the better. All right, obviously no entry here. Let's check the fundamentals real quick. All right, fundamentals are currently down 50 points, so they're not really down too much. Go here to the US. Actually, they're down 132 points. So looking at this right here, the Dow is currently down 126 points. So they currently have a bearish fundamental bias right now. So this is going in opposite of retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is starting to loosen out as well. So earlier this morning, retail sentiment was 66% short. It's now 64% short. Looks like a lot of them have pulled out of their positions. So a lot of uncertainty here. There's no clear direction of bias. Fundamental bias is currently bearish. Retail sentiment is currently bullish. Technicals right now are currently neutral. So the 1 hour over here is turning bearish. 30-minute here is bearish. 4 hour here is neutral. 10 minutes is bearish. 5 minutes bearish. 1 minute's bearish. So we don't really have a bias right now at all, guys. So these areas might not be an area of balance because retail sentiment is not very strong anymore. 64%. As you guys know, typically you want it to be above 65%, on the better side, over 70 to 75% on one side or the other. Right now it's 64, so it's not very strong. This is pretty much going to get closer to the neutral side. This is more on the neutral bearish side. And same with the technicals over here. It's neutral bearish. So just be careful with your entries, guys. I think our strategy for the high level momentum scalp doesn't matter because this doesn't need a bias. But if you guys are looking to buy dips, buy reversals, etc., you want to be careful and be very picky about which ones you decide to take because there's no guarantee price is going to go up. There's no guarantee price is going to come down. So we have another lower low right here. Again, we have another opportunity here for price to reverse to the upside. We don't have a confirmation yet. Here he goes. Price drops a bit lower. Looks like this would have been a, well, if there was a bias, this would have been a possible, actually, never mind, these candles touched it already. I was looking at it as a high-low scalp, but not here because there's no strong sell bias. If we had a strong sell bias, then yeah, this would be a high-low scalp, but there's no overall bias right now with regard to technicals, fundamentals, and retail sentiment. So for now, we're still looking for a high-level momentum scalp. Looking at this here, this may be a possible entry. Again, we have a lower low right here. So we have a lower low right here. We need price to break and close past pivots 1 and 2, and we need a buy signal. If we get that, then we have possible entry. If not, then we've got to, wait for that confirmation. Yeah, Richard said similar to yesterday. Yeah, there wasn't really much direction yesterday. It finally corrected yesterday, but that was because the sentiment was super strong. I think sentiment yesterday was like 68%. Right now it's at 64. So I don't know if this will correct all the way back up. I mean, it possibly will, at least the opening price, but I don't know if it'll like cross opening and then continue pushing, right? because the sentiment's not too strong. If it was strong on the sell side, then I definitely expect it to break through here and continue pushing up higher. But price might push up to opening price and then come right back down. There's a lot of different scenarios here that can play out. So I'd be very selective about, the entries you guys decide to take. I don't think this is the type of day where you should be holding on to something too long because there's not really much of a bias. Yeah, exactly. Medusa said fundamentals are pretty red. Yeah, they're pretty red right now. So let's take a look at the actual index. So looking over here at the stock index for US30, it's pretty much all red right now. Yeah, literally all red. United Health is down. Home Depot is down. Microsoft's down. United Health is like the main one that's super down right now. It's down 9 points. It's weighing it down pretty heavily. Travelers is up below. And then we have Walmart, but everything else is pretty much less than a point. But the fundamentals are very red right now. So I mean, we'll see. It doesn't help because these are opposite. Fundamentals are currently very red, but the retail sentiment is still on the sell side. So I think this might swing back up. There might be some type of news that comes up and it pushes price to the upside. However, we have news at 7:30, and I'm not expecting it to be good news at all. It's crude oil inventories. If you guys have been following the news, I mentioned this yesterday during the mentoring session. Russia cut a deal with Saudi Arabia where they're basically be purchasing oil from them, and then they're going to be distributing it through Europe. So they have an influence out there, of course, if they're going to be, pretty much providing inventory of oil. Plus, if they're going to be getting their oil from Saudi Arabia, it's going to affect our oil inventories. So I'm expecting this number to be very negative, or it's going to be not on the good side. So we got news over here at 7:30, crude oil inventories. I know it's light impact news, but if you guys remember last week, this news event actually really pushed price in the opposite direction. So they're forecasting it to be negative 0.4. I think this is not going to be anywhere close. I think it's going to be a lot higher. So we'll see. News event happens in about an hour, 7:48 right now. It's 6:48. News event's at 7:30. So we have a lot of time between now and then. But I think that news event will be somewhat impactful. Because obviously, if the US isn't selling oil and their oil inventories are high, it's not good for the economy. And if we're going to recession and a lot of countries are not using the US dollar anymore, it's just another blow. So we'll see. And I think we have the Fed speaking later today too. Yeah, we have Fed member Williams speaking later today at 4. We have Fed member Goolsbee speaking at 2:30. They're basically going to be talking about a lot of this stuff here. And a lot of stuff prior to the unemployment claims, Philly Fed manufacturing index, existing home sales, CB leading index tomorrow, natural gas storage. And then Yellen's going to speak tomorrow as well. A lot of news tomorrow on Thursday. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. So I think what might happen here is price might dip a little bit until tomorrow. And then I think when the Fed starts speaking, it'll bounce back up. All right, we have the lower low right here. This might be a V2 variation. Again, guys, if price breaks and closes past the pivots over here with a buy signal, there's a possible entry. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take at the moment. How about 10 seconds left on this candle right here? Does not look like we're going to get a buy signal. And we'll get one right here on the next candle. So if this here breaks and closes past the pivots, then this is a possible entry for a high level momentum scalp. But again, guys, you guys have to wait for the candle to actually break and close past it, because this sell signal can disappear like at the very last second. So make sure that you guys are waiting and being patient for the candle to actually close. We have 42 seconds left on this candle, so we have a lot of time. And you got to make sure that it actually confirms. So you can see right there, it disappeared. You want to make sure that it actually closes with the buy signal. There's no buy signal, then no entry. We have 25 seconds left on this candle right here. If you guys are looking for the countdown's right here on the right side. If you're on your chart, there's also a countdown on the quick trade manager as well. We have about 10 seconds left on this candle. Again, you guys got to wait for the candle to actually close. If it doesn't close with the buy signal, it doesn't close above, then there's definitely no entry here. All right, so it looks like that closed right there. And TP hit, guys. Or not yet, almost. So it looks like you got really close to it, not yet, but it is almost there. All right, TP hit. Still holding on to mine. Let me push up a little higher. All right, closed out. All right, so quick TP right there if you guys caught it. Let me see if I could. I entered it right away. As soon as it closed, I entered it, and then I was going to hold it for a little longer, but I just ended up closing it. So there we go. As price pushes up higher from where it's currently at. Okay, close me for partial, super whack, whatever. All right, so it gave me a little loss for my. I mean, I'm starting to be really annoyed with MFF, guys, because it gave me a little bit of a negative right there. Where's my FTMO at? All right, so I got a bit of some mixed profits over here from that. Kind of annoying, but it's all good. I'll take another one to even it out. So there are my profits so far of that trade right there. What I've been doing lately is I've been leaving an open TP. I just been manually closing it out. I probably should just did a set a TP there because it would have been better off, but it's okay. So here's my FTMO locked in 510, FTMO number 2 locked in 310, my MFF number 1 locked in $60, and then my MFF number 2 and 3 negative 40. I don't know what's going on with MFF. It's just been really annoying lately. If you guys have been using MFF, or if you guys have been following me, they've been giving me half profit like for every trade for like the past month and a half now, which is it's really getting on my nerves because my FTMO is always in profit. I mean, it's all good. It happens, but usually it's fixed by now. And I'm hoping it's just a temporary thing, because if they're starting to act like TFF, then they're not going to be usable, because it just seems like every day I get like less profit from them. It's not horrible. Like I'm not always in the red, but it is getting kind of frustrating because you guys will see my profits. So you guys can see my profits for the week so far. I'm currently at 5,980 off my FTMO number 1, 5,530 on my FTMO number 2. Then my MFFs are only up 3,400, 3,100, 3,200, which is, it's a big difference, right? Because I'm like getting shortcut like about, I'm getting shorthanded about 2,000 across all my MFF accounts. So I'm still making profit on it, but it's it's annoying because they should all be 5,000 right now. Anyways, looking over here, Vincent locked in a total profit of 180 off that trade. Nice work, Vincent. He looks like he closed a little too early. It's all good. Still made profit on it, so that's a plus. So I locked in, a couple $100 right there. Here is Christian. Christian took the trade as well. Total profit of 650 off that buy. Nice work, Christian. Here is Patricia. She took that trade as well. Total profit of 3,180. Nice work, Patricia. Solid work right there. And I think that's it for right now. If there's any more profits that you guys have, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will continue looking for another entry here. Nice. Yeah, Vincent caught it. Christian caught it. Cameron caught it. Looks like a couple of people here caught it. A couple people didn't. So it's all good. Wait for the next one, guys. That trade was a little quick. It happened too quickly. So if you weren't paying attention, you don't have the indicators, you probably missed the entry. But it's all good. There's probably going to be another one that comes up. So now we are just waiting again for another opportunity to present itself. As you guys can see, if you guys are patient, you wait for these entries, the entries will come up. We had the lower low right here. We had price breaking close past pivots right there with the buy signal. Quick entry. So guys, if you guys think about it, it's really just two requirements. I know there's 3 requirements here, but 2 and 3 are pretty much the same thing. You're looking for a buy signal to break and close past pivots 1 and 2. So I mean, realistically, if you guys are just looking at that as 2 criteria, this here is already automatic. Like once you have a lower low, you don't even have to look at that. Next, you're just looking for a buy signal to break and close past the pivots. Or if you have a higher high, you're looking for a sell signal to break and close past the pivots. So we technically had 2 entries that came up today. We had this one right here, higher high. Sell signal broken close. I didn't take it because the candle was too big, but this trade did hit full TP. And then again down here, we had a lower low, buy signal breaking close past pivots 1 and 2 right there, and another full TP, right? So there's a lot of opportunities here to take, guys. You guys just have to be really on your feet, and you guys have to understand the strategy. So, all right, we're waiting for another one. Looks like Satyam caught it as well. So nice work, Satyam. All right, we're just waiting for another entry here, guys. So in order for us to have a sell here, we need to establish a higher high. This right here is a lower high, so we can't take this for entry. We need price to establish a lower high right here. Then we kind of need price to retrace down a little bit, swing back up, and close above here. If this happens and price closes above this area, then there will be a higher high right here. But we need some time for this to establish as a lower high before we can get that. So I'm kind of fine if price consolidates here a bit. It needs to consolidate about 4 or 5 candles. Once it does that, then this lower high will be established, and we'll wait for price to push up higher to establish a new higher high. Right now, it looks like price is just going to consolidate a bit. Not really too much to look at. So I wouldn't be surprised if price drops a bit lower. Reason for that is because price never came down and tested the lower lows right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price comes down a lot lower, pushes down past here, rejects off this point, and swings all the way back up. Let's take a look at sentiment real quick and see where people are currently at. Sentiment is currently at 64% short. So right there, we're still looking for buys with regard to retail sentiment. Looking over here at the fundamentals. Fundamentals are currently down 129 points. Looking over here at the actual stock index, you can see a lot of stocks here are starting to turn green. So they're still very red. However, United Health Group here isn't as down. It was down like 9 or 10 points. Now it's only down 7 points. The green stocks down here are currently up. I mean, they're pretty much balancing out. Travelers is up 8 points, so they're pretty much balancing out. Johnson & Johnson's up 1 point. So we'll see if this starts to make it swing back to the upside. But, you know, obviously you want to be patient, just wait for this to actually happen and not really try to predict anything. So we have a sell signal here pending. There's no entry for us there, but there is a sell signal. So just FYI. Looks like that right there may possibly be considered a momentum scalp entry. If it does close with a sell signal. Not a high level momentum scalp, but a regular one. So I'll call out these different strategies, guys, while I'm looking over here. I'm just going to analyze things and I'll identify entries. So right here, there's a V1 variation. Right there, there's a double body rejection and it's pushing down. So there's one opportunity right there for a V1 variation. I think the trade's still technically running. So I'll call out different entries as I see them come up. I'm not going to, obviously the only official entries are going to be this right here. But, you know, some people mentioned during the mentoring session yesterday, if I can just call out trades if I see them there. So I'll identify them and show you guys. This here would be a V1 variation. If the sell signal closes, it'd be considered a momentum scalp entry. Not a high level momentum scalp, but a regular momentum scalp, because the bias is mainly a sell right now, as you guys can see, with regard to trend and with regard to fundamentals. Retail sentiment is currently still a buy, but everything else is a sell. So with that said, you know, obviously you have a stronger bias for a sell right now. So we'll see. There's no entry right now. We're currently in, guys. I just marked up a possible V1 there, but as you guys can see, it's kind of an iffy direction right now because price is pretty much going sideways. So I'm not going to leave this up. I'll just put it back later if we see anything else, but I don't want you guys to think that we're in a position. I just wanted to let you guys know that there was a V1 variation that was technically running at the moment, so that you guys can be aware. But again, if you guys want to learn those strategies, just make sure that you guys have the indicators. Well, you don't even need the indicators, but if you guys just want to learn them, you know, they're available to you. Oh, thanks, Maddie. So actually, Maddie and Eunice mentioned there was no sell signal on the 10-minute. So there's no momentum scalp there, but there is a V1 variation that's technically running at the moment. Turn on momentum over here. Yeah, you guys are right. All right, so there's nothing here yet. Yeah, volatility is kind of low right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes down a bit lower and retest the low down here. And who knows? All right, so we're still waiting for any possible opportunity for entry here. There's no entry that's available yet, but eventually price may present itself. This right here, again, if we have that sell signal, it would not be a momentum scalp, but it would possibly be a pivot scalp. This price is below the pivots right now. As you guys can see, lots of wicks on the bottom end. Not exactly the candle setup that you'd be really confident with. I mean, price is pretty much just going sideways. There's not much going on right here. I mean, we have the big range, and if you wanted to look at the smaller range, there's even a smaller range right here. Yeah, Maddie said price dropped, then retraced and rejected off the pivot 4. A pivot scalp for a sell on off level 1 looks nice. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Maddie. I just don't like the way these candles are looking. As you guys can see, a lot of wicks on the bottom right here. And the volatility and volume is just dead. As you guys can see, there's not really much going on right here. The volume is just pretty much flat at the moment and not really doing too much. Yeah, Maddie said, but I hate the movements right now. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. There's not too much going on. You can see prices trying to make its way down, but it's not really having much luck. It's comes down, then it pushes back up, then it comes back down, then it pushes back up. Yeah, I mean, there's no opportunity for entry right now. There's a pending sell signal, but we can't take an entry here anyways because there's no higher high. So in order for us to have an entry, we need to have a higher high there. This thing's pretty flat. So you basically got a support that's kind of getting established right there. Also have a resistance right there. It's just a nasty range, as you guys can see. Not even a range. I would just call this consolidation. A range would be wider where price bounces from. This is just a consolidation right here. It's just going sideways. All right, so nothing there yet. As you guys can see, I'm gonna go ahead and continue watching this area here. There's a clean chart. I'm just going to mark up the low right there so you can see the range. So, I mean, just looking at where price is currently at right here, it looks like you just might consolidate until news price over here at 7:30. It's 7:05 right now, so we have 25 minutes till news. I mean, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's getting closer to news, but it's not quite there yet. Seems like a lot of people are just waiting for the news to come out right here. So they're just kind of pushing it back and forth. All right. I want to go back and check this. I actually took this V1 variation right here, guys. So I'm taking other trades, but as I mentioned, this is the main strategy that we're looking for. So we have another pivot scalp that's setting up right here. This V1 variation just hit. I'm not going to count this trade because we're mainly focusing on this one right here. But I did hit my TP on that. Swung my accounts back in a profit, especially my MFF. It's been super off lately. All right, so as you guys can see, my account is just continuing to grow this week. So I made 1,270 off my FTMO number one, 1,120 off my FTMO number two, 620 off my MFF number one, 520 off my MFF number two, and 520 off my MFF number three. I was really determined to bring that account back because of the whatever slippage or whatever I want to consider it for MFF. So I just determined, I just hate seeing my counts in red. So I took that quick little V1 variation and then I locked in a profit off that. You know, again, if you guys want to learn these strategies, the strategies are available to you. But if you guys just want to focus on what we're doing here on the live, the main strategy, it's going to be the high level momentum scalp. We don't have any entries here yet. It is high probability, so that's what we mainly focus on. But I don't recommend you guys learn these strategies unless you guys are like confident. If you guys are not confident with your trading, then just stick to what we're taking here on the live as official trades. All right. I get my payout soon, right this weekend. All right. All right, so if this candle here breaks and closes past the pivots with a buy signal, we have a possible entry here for a buy. We have a lower low right here. Got 30 seconds left on the candle. Again, you guys have to wait for the candle to actually close. So just keep that in mind, guys. The candle here did not close. You got to wait for it to actually close with the buy signal. It's going to be key. Make sure you wait for it to close. It's a close right there. Let's see, price is pushing up right now. All right, full TP right there. All right, guys, another full TP. That was pretty quick. If you guys caught it, great. Lower low right there. Buy signal, break and close past the pivots. Another full TP. So three back-to-back, or let's see. Yeah, three back-to-back full TPs using this official strategy for us. We have the higher high right here, lower low right here, lower low right there. Blast right through. Another one. All right, guys. Profits are looking nice. All right, so my profits, let's see. I locked in 810, so partial profit off that as well. As I mentioned, I've been using an open-ended TP. Probably not the best decision, but I'm okay with it because I'm manually watching it. So if I see price push up past it, I can either pull out or I can hold on to it. But yeah, for the most part, locked in a full TP off that. Cut me a little short, but it's all good. I'll go ahead and add this to the results again. So if you guys have props to post up on that, feel free to send them in. And I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of my accounts as well. So accounts are looking pretty nice so far. All right, so there's my accounts right there. Yeah, thanks, Nick, for the heads up. Because I saw your message in the chat. I wasn't looking at the charts, and I saw your message about the possible buy right here. All right, solid. So we have another higher high right here, guys. I mean, we might have another opportunity for a sell, but we'll see. Price might push up higher, so maybe not. But we'll see where this ends up taking us. Yeah, Maddie said price might go to open. So yeah, price might push up higher. I think that would be the ideal direction. I think price will push up higher because they didn't really push up high enough. It's still kind of pushing. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of my profits real quick before I forget. I know, yes, last week I forgot to post profits. I think last week was just a bit of a lazy week for me since we came back from that long holiday. So I'm going to try to make a better effort and document mine this time. MFF gave me half profit though, so it's all good. All right, we might have an entry here, guys, if the sell signal closes. So price is currently trying to swing below the pivots. There's no sell signal though, or there might be. Let's see if it ends up coming up. Got about 30 seconds left on this candle here. So it did not close yet, but all right, does not look like we're having an entry here. 10 seconds left on the candle. It does not look like we're going to get that sell signal. Let me just post up my profits real quick, and I'll look at your guys' profits as well. Yeah, no entry for us there, guys. It's all good. I'm actually glad it didn't end up closing because these trades are coming up a little too quickly. All right, so let's take a look at everybody else's profits. Obviously, I'm going to make profits on today because I'm calling these trades as I see them. Christian over here made a 530 off that last trade. Nice work, Christian. We have Andy over here, total profit of 960 for the day. Nice work, Andy. Full TP on that trade right there, that buy that we just took. It's a great work right there, Andy. We got Lucas over here, full TP on that trade, total profit of 770. Nice work, Lucas. Let's see, we got Patricia over here, total profit of 580 off her first account, 1,060 off her second account, and 455 off her third account. Nice work, Patricia. Solid profit right there. We have Cameron over here, total profit of 1,876 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Cameron. Solid profits right there. We got Chow over here, total profit of 770 for the day. Nice work, Chow. Nice recovery right there. Looks like you had a loss earlier this morning and then you bounced right back. So great work right there with the bounce back. We got Vincent over here, second trade, total profit of 610 for the day. Nice work, Vincent. Yeah, Vincent said he got in late, so he pulled out when it hit TP on TradingView. Smart. You got to keep doing that. I think that's the key thing, guys. Just don't get greedy. If you guys hit your TP, just, take the trade and accept it. I think that's the main thing, guys. You guys just got to accept the wins today because this market's going to get a little crazy once you get close to news. Dejan over here, total profit of 455 for the day. Nice work, Dejan. And then we've got Nelly over here, literally at break even. So Nelly had one loss over here a little earlier at 706. It's all good. It happens. And then he bounced right back to break even profit. So it's all good. Better be at break even than negative, right? So just wait for that next one. All right. We currently have another possible entry right here, guys. If the sell signal closes, we have a higher high right here. Possibility of entry if this ends up closing with the sell signal. Again, guys, you guys have to actually wait for this candle to close, right? Because this candle can disappear at the last second. We currently have 10 seconds left on this candle. It does not look like it's going to close, which is completely fine. It's starting to get a little messy. Another possible entry right here off this candle, but again, as I mentioned, guys, it's starting to get a little messy. It's not really a smooth move, but I mean, we'll see if it ends up closing. We have 50 seconds left on it, so we got a lot of time. Let me show you guys Ross's profits. So Ross over here just posted his profits for the day. Dang, Ross has been making some crazy profits over here, 40,730. Took a lot of gold trades. It looks like most of his profits came from the gold trades last night. Made some pretty heavy profits right there. I'm not sure what Ross is applying there, but he did pretty good off gold. And then for US30 over here this morning, he did pretty good as well. So pretty solid day for Ross so far across both US30 and gold. All right, we have the pending sell signal on this candle right here, guys. But as you guys can see, price is back into this range. So it's not necessarily the best type of area to trade in. There's a range below here and a range above here. So support and resistance. And this candle here is not going to close with the sell signal. All right, so no entry there. If this here closes on this next one, I don't know if I'll take this one because these, like obviously you can see the candles here close really close to the pivots where it probably should have closed below, but it ended up spiking up at the last second. I don't think it'll even provide opportunity, so it should be fine. But yeah, that's kind of what we see right here. Yeah, and Cameron said too close to news, don't want to get stuck in a trade. And I agree with you too, Cameron, 100%. So if another entry comes up right here, I'm probably not going to take it. It's getting close to news right here. If you guys remember from last week, we had a trade that came up right before news. And what happened? Price did the complete opposite and spiked, right? So you definitely don't want that to happen for you. So I probably want to just hold off. I know typically we just avoid news, but the reason why I'm paying attention to news today is because there's really a lot of uncertainty as to like where price will go. If you guys saw the news that happened last week, same exact news event, crude oil inventories last Wednesday, this year ended up doing the complete opposite. We were expecting the crude oil inventories to not do anything, and then it just spiked down super heavy. So no opportunity there. Also, PC mentioned it has a high low that forms, so trade will be null in any case. Yeah, 100% PC. So there can't be any high lows in between. All right, guys. So great observation right there by all you guys. No entries for us here. There's a pending buy signal, but there's no entry for us to take here because we need to have a lower low in order for us to take that. There's no lower low here, so there's no opportunity for entry. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. So here are the profits across all my accounts so far. Here's my FTMO number 1, locking a total profit of 2,080 for the day, all wins. Here's my FTMO number 2, total profit of 1,980, all wins as well. Here's my MFF number 1. It gave me that small loss on open. You guys can see the huge difference here, right? I made 500 on my FTMO. It gave me negative 40 on my MFF. This is why I'm so annoyed about what I'm getting with the MFF, because I shouldn't be getting any negative if I made at least 500 on this account, right? Maybe like maybe 40 positive, but not 40 negative. So 1,080 off my MFF number 1, 1,080 off my MFF number 2, and 1,180 off my MFF number 3. As you guys can see here, my MFF number 3 actually gave me profit 60, while these here gave me negative. So it's all good. I mean, it is what it is. I got to deal with it, but you guys can feel my pain. It is super annoying when that happens. And it's just MFF. I mean, they weren't like this before. They were actually pretty solid before. But it's all good. It is what it is. Just got to deal with it. All right, some profits here from David. David locked in a total profit of 1,830 for the day. Nice work, David. All wins. So, all right, guys, you guys are doing pretty good so far. We'll continue along and see if there's any other entries for us to take here, but we do have news coming up right here in about 10 minutes. So you guys might want to be careful about this news event. Typically, we don't avoid news events, but for this specific news event, I want to be a bit careful. I'm expecting this to be very negative, so just keep that in mind. So if you see prices start dropping, I think it'll continue to drop even further. Yeah, Patricia said can't X out of MFF anymore, have to put a TP in. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Patricia. So I might have to copy my TPs from my main account to my copy accounts. There's an option for it, but and we'll see. The last thing I want to do is be stuck in a position though. So if I copy TPs over and it doesn't close me out when the main account does, I think that's going to be even worse, but we'll see. Probably try that out. Let's see. Daniel's asking, have you tried swapping MFF to your main one? I have. So I've traded it alone by itself, it's still the same thing. I think their spreads are wider. So I know MFF has changed their servers over the past couple of weeks or past couple of months. They did warn that they were changing their settings. So their execution times are going to be fixed, or their execution times are going to be fixed, or their spreads are going to be fixed. You guys probably got that email from MFF if you guys do trade with them. They did warn that something new was going to happen, where they were going to change stuff because of the high volatility in the market. So I think it's just an MFF side thing. They're just trying to protect their accounts. They're probably starting to copy trades now on their side, or I don't know if they've been copying trades, but if they are, they're probably trying to cover their asses, right? So they probably have their execution time set with like low slippage settings or high slippage settings. So they have an opportunity to, get in at a better price point if they do copy our trades. Gotcha. So Patricia said that she copies her TPs on social traders. Yeah, I'll probably do the same thing, Patricia, and that'll probably help me out, because it does get a little annoying that I'm always like down like $500. That's kind of what it seems like. If you guys look at my profits here, so I made it 810 off my FTMO right here, and then my MFF only locked in 560. So it's like usually a gap of 300 to 500 profit, which is kind of a lot if you guys think about it. Like if I take like 100 trades and then they keep taking like 500 profit from me, or they don't give me 500 of the profit, that's like 5,000, right? Or more. My math sucks. I said what, 100 trades and they're taking 50,000. Actually, that's a lot of profit for them to be taking. If I take 100 trades and each trade I miss out on $500, that's 50,000 profit. But it's all good. You got to deal with it. I mean, there's always going to be issues with these funding companies, guys, and you just have to deal with it. That there's no point in getting on the wrong side with them. Because if the funding company doesn't like you, then they'll just not let you use them anymore, right? They're not required to let you use their services. So that's why I just deal with it. Like I would never want to be blackballed by like FTMO, because they're like the best one. So like whenever I have issues with FTMO, I'll reach out, but I'm not going to complain. I'll reach out and I'll just tell them, and if they don't fix it, then whatever. Because I've made my money with them already, so it's not like a big deal. MFF's number 2, so I don't really want to get on the bad side with them either. Let's see. Glenn's asking, is there a variation on the 704 candle? Yeah, there was right here. Glenn, there's a V1 variation right there on the 704 candle. Looks like Satyam actually caught it. Yeah. So you guys caught that there, another V1 variation. Yeah, Satyam said this 5 euro YM data is amazing. Bought it and now can see the difference. Thanks, Sean. 3 wins. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, this data makes a big difference, guys. If you guys can tell, I mean, Satyam just got the data for YM, and he said it's going to make it made like a huge difference in his ability to identify these entries, because the data is just that much better. It's worth it. $5 a month. It pretty much pays itself off with like one trade. Yes, you succeed. Imagine being blackballed by FTMO. I know, right? That'd be crazy. Vince is asking, is there a V1 variation on the 717 candle? Let me see. It looks like it, but I can't tell. I don't think this one would count, Vince, because there's a momentum signal on it. There needs to be a pending momentum on it. So like for the V1 variation, you need a pending momentum. And I don't think this one has it. Yeah, so step 4, you need to confirm that there's a pending momentum in the direction of the trade. I mean, technically, I guess if you were to count this as like the pending momentum, I guess, yeah, you can count it. But yeah, it says no signal on second candle allowed. So you wouldn't be able to take this here, but it is a double body rejection, Vince. So there's a double body rejection, but there's a momentum candle on the second candle. So you can't take it part of the requirements. But if this wasn't here and there was a sell signal somewhere back here, then this would be perfect. Yeah, it would fit criteria. All right, Dejan, so that's me for the day, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Another day of profit. Nice work, Dejan. So you guys can see here, Dejan is like, he knows his problem with trading. His problem with trading is over trading and revenge trading. So Dejan over here, he took his trade for the day. You guys can see his profits over here. Dejan took his one trade for the day, locked in 455. He was happy with his profits. He was done from revenge trading and over trading. So he just ended up calling it a day. So if your problem is over trading, like Will, I know you're here on the YouTube, because Will over here was telling me that he needs to take more trades, but the problem is he sucks when he takes more trades, right? That's a lot of people. Like if you guys might think that you need more trades, but more trades doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. It can mean a bad thing because it just opens you up to more losses. So Dejan over here, he took one trade, hit his TP to prevent himself from taking more trades and losing these profits. He just called it a day. And that's something that a lot of you guys need to understand too. Because if you guys have been trading for like 6+ years, right, and you still can't get it down, I think your best form of getting better is to just follow directions, right? So yeah, me and Will had a talk yesterday, and I just wanted to bring that up to you guys because I know a lot of people have the same issue. A lot of you guys like to blame the person who's teaching you trading, but realistically, you're the problem, right? Because you can't follow directions and you can't follow the strategy properly. So if that's your problem, you guys got to figure out what your issue is, and you can make changes from there. But if you're just always looking for someone to blame or some strategy to blame, you're not going to get any better ever. Let's see. Mohammed's asking, Sean, can you tell me what's the benefits of YM data? Well, I mean, the main benefit is that you're getting the data directly from the exchange. So, I mean, you have faster data, it's more accurate, you're getting it directly from the exchange. If you look up US30, you'll see here that it has brokers. Each broker here can set their own data. So they set their own slippage settings, they set like all their settings are set by the broker. If you use the YM data, this is what US30 is based off. It's based off the future. So you can see over here that I'm getting this data from the Chicago Board of Trade, which is the actual exchange. So you're basically getting raw data. It's the fastest data for the most part. And you don't really get any manipulation in the candles because the data is like directly from the exchange. So that's usually like the best thing for, I mean, if you're scalping, it's very necessary. If you're swing trading and intraday trading, it's probably not that big of a deal because you're not taking trades directly off the candles. But if you are scalping or trading short term, you need to have the best data. So you can see over here, there's no data gaps, right? You don't see any what are those things called? Not necessarily, we don't call them data gaps. They just call them gaps, right? I think some people call them gaps where like you'll see spaces in between the candles. You don't really see that here because this data is like the best data that you can get. It's always running. But if you get like, I'll just check real quick. I'll go over here to this chart and I'll look up some like crappy data. So what has like the worst data? ACAP, right? So if you look at ACAP over here, you'll see that these candles here are not going to align and there's going to be gaps in price sometimes. So people always call them gaps, but they're not really gaps. It's just their data sucks. So like, I mean, you'll probably see it like when market reopened from Asia or something like that. Like right here, right? So see how there's a gap in data right there? You'll see this a lot with like brokers. But if you're like on YM, you're probably not going to see that because the data is directly from the exchange. Yeah, no problem, Mohammed. That's the main thing. So yeah, if you're scalping, you need the fastest data. This is probably the fastest data to the retail traders. Obviously, if you're in an institution, you're going to have better data, but this is as good as it gets for retail traders. News is right now as well. So we're currently on the news candle right now. Doesn't look like it had a huge effect on the market today. Let me check the news event. I'm pretty sure it's negative. It was actually positive. Wow, it's crazy. So if you guys remember yesterday, this was super negative, and for whatever reason, it's super positive this for today. We didn't really see a move in price here, but if price does move in the direction that it's supposed to push up. So right here, they were forecasting it to be negative 0.4. It's actually negative 4.6 mil. So this is a huge jump. Surprisingly, the price didn't really move too much, but if price does move where it's supposed to push to the upside because the news here is very, very positive. It's a big jump. They're forecasting it to be just a small change, like less than $1 million, and it actually jumped almost 4 to 5 million in inventories. And this is a good thing because they're selling oil. If it's negative, it's good. If it's positive, then it's bad. Well, I mean the number. So if you see the negative symbol right there, this is good because they're selling oil. And then if it's like doesn't have the negative symbol there, then it's bad. That's how you would base the news off. And if you guys want to see how this news works, just click on the folder right here and it'll tell you right here. So it'll say actual less forecast is good for currency. And that's why right here, it was super less, right? It was -4 and that's good for the US currency. So just a heads up, guys, if you guys are wondering and you guys want to understand fundamentals a bit more, here we go as price pushes up higher. It's going to where it needs to go. Target price point, again, guys, if you guys are looking for target price point, is going to be opening price. Doesn't mean it's going to come up to that price point, but that's where target price point is if it does continue to push up higher. Patrick said, I blame you every day since I joined for making me money, Sean. Right, Patrick? David said, I learned the ABCs of trading. Thanks to Sean. So thankful. Definitely, David. Yeah, and I'm glad to see that you're being a lot more consistent with your trades, David. Because I've seen your trades every day, you've been in green. So you should be able to pass that challenge with no problem. Yeah, just look at it. So here's David right here. You guys can see today he made 1830. Yesterday he made 1560. Day before that he made 3120. He's been consistent. If you guys can have consistent days like David here, then you should have no problem with finding success of trading. So we have another possible entry right here, guys. We currently have a higher high. If this candle breaks and closes past the pivots with the sell signal, then there's possible entry here. But again, you guys have to wait for the candle to actually close. Make sure you keep that in mind, that you guys are waiting for the candle to actually close. You can see right there, it disappeared. You got to wait for it to actually close. So it does not look like we're going to get an entry here, but we'll see if it ends up closing. So it did not close there, guys. So this is why patience and discipline is number one. If you guys follow FTMO on social media, they actually posted something where their top traders, well, not really their top traders, but basically their funded traders, they voted to tell you, they basically voted on what's more important with trading. And the biggest thing that they voted on that was number one across, I think, 15 or 16 options was discipline. So they voted discipline over risk management, over trading plan, over trading strategy, et cetera. It's just really discipline. So you guys have to be disciplined and wait for this candle here to close to confirm the setup, right? If you guys entered early here, then you're probably punching air right now because the trade didn't close. So just joking around with you guys. That's what discipline is, right? It's being able to wait for the candle to actually close and getting in at possible entry. So hopefully nobody entered the trade here because you'd be in some drawdown right now. So just make sure if you guys did get into this entry, if you guys get into this entry, or if you guys got into the entry, make sure to actually try to close out with some profit or at break even at least. Because there's no entry that's available here. So I just want to make you guys, I want to make sure that you guys understand. Christian said, I blame the FOMO guy. Patrick said, makes sense because discipline is the mother of all other options. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if you guys want to see that thing I just mentioned, just go on the FTMO website, or not FTMO website, go on their Instagram. I think it's like their newest post. I just saw it this morning when I woke up. Yeah, so they basically got votes for the most important trader's asset, and Yeah, you guys will see there. It's pretty interesting. I mean, and I've been emphasizing that for you guys pretty much this whole time, right? Ever since we started trading, I mentioned that discipline is like the number one thing that you guys need to really find consistency with trading. Because as I mentioned before, you guys can use any of my strategies and you guys can do perfectly fine, or you guys can use your own strategy, but you guys got to stick to that specific strategy. I mean, I gave you guys a blueprint and I show you guys every day how I trade. So obviously my trading style works, but if you guys can't follow the discipline to follow it, then it's not going to work for you. Yeah, Christian said, like Jim Rohn once said, discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishment. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. Like if you guys can just be disciplined and take like a few quality trades a day, I think you guys should be perfectly fine. Like for example, I think for the month of April, we're currently up pretty heavy. So we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we have 13 wins and 1 loss for the entire month of April so far. So if you guys are disciplined and just focus on what we're doing here on the live, you guys should be able to pass your challenge with no problem. If you're doing it with a 1% profit gain per trade, you'd be up 13% right now, past challenge, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. I mean, I feel like a lot of people try to make things a lot more complicated than it really is. But I've given you guys a blueprint for how I trade. So you guys know how I trade. You guys just have to follow the directions. We're currently in a range right here, guys. So there's not really much for us to look at the moment. It's in a big range, but here's a small range. So if price continues to range this way and consolidate, it's preparing for, obviously a breakout. So we have a buy signal right here, but there's no lower low on this here. Tom said we target more of a 0.5% per trade though. So Tom, didn't we just talk about this yesterday? I feel like we spent like a whole hour talking about this during the mentoring session. So I said that I aim for a 0.5% because I'm not going for a challenge. I don't have to go for more risk, right? But I mentioned during like the mentoring session, because you asked the same question yesterday. I mentioned you can increase your risk, right? If you need to pass a challenge, you can increase your risk. You don't have to go for a 0.5%. You could go for 1%. So yeah, if you want to go back and rewatch the mentoring session yesterday, because we went pretty in depth about that. I thought you understood, what we discussed. But if that's the case and you're still confused about it, we can talk about it in the next mentoring session. But I'm going for 0.5%. You guys don't have to do what I'm doing. There's a whole video explaining risk management in the course. If you guys need help with that stuff, I mean, I made a whole video for that, right? Or I don't even know if I made a video, but I made a whole module for that right here, right? Lot sizes for FTMO. Guys, I didn't spend like an hour or 2 hours to make this module here for you guys to like not read it. So if you guys want to go and read this right here, I even gave different account sizes. If you guys have a problem with lot sizing and understanding risk, then go over here. I created an entire module for this. So guys, if you guys are new here, this stuff's completely free. Go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access, or if you have access to the strategies already, just go to the module, right? I made the module so simple where like, it doesn't take very much time for you guys to just take a look at this stuff, but I've broken it down for you guys here, right? So I mentioned right here, I personally use 100 lots for all my trades, which equates to 1.5% risk, but you don't have to do that. It's up to you guys, what you guys want to take. So Tom, I would recommend that you go back and just rewatch the modules, like, actually take time and look through them, because a lot of the questions that you have regarding, passing FTMO and that stuff is all covered in here. You guys don't have to take more trades. You guys just have to understand what your risk is. Like, I'm not looking to, I mean, if you guys did the math here, so if you guys did the math here from my results, we're currently 10 wins or 13 wins and 1 loss, right? So if you're doing a 1% profit potential, then you'd be up, 13% or 10%. For me personally, I'm not looking to pass a challenge, so I don't have to get like big percentages. I'd rather just have consistent profits every day. You guys see my profits here so far. I'm currently up 7,550, right? There's no reason for me to complain why I'm not making 10,000 here when I'm already making this much. If you guys do the math here about where I'm currently at, okay, so these are my profits for the week so far across all my accounts. 7,550, 7,200, 4,550, 4,300, 4,400, right? I'm up this much for the week so far, and it's only Wednesday. And I'm only doing a 0.5% profit potential per trade. So I can do this because I'm already funded. I don't need to pass a challenge. Obviously, if I did more, I could have made more off this, but you guys just got to focus on you. I feel like a lot of people, not in this group, but in general, a lot of people are focusing on like what everybody else is doing. Everybody wants to do what I'm doing. Everybody wants to do what Kevin's doing. Everybody wants to do what, who else profits a lot here? And I think that's a problem with a lot of you guys who are not successful, because you guys keep trying to focus. You try to mimic what everybody else is doing, but you forget about yourself, and you just end up blowing accounts. So I guess like the main word of my advice would be to stay in your lane, right? Don't care about it, what anybody else is doing. If someone else is making 10,000 a day, then that's cool. If I'm making 5,000 a day, then that's cool too. But it's not gonna make a difference for you if you're making negative 10,000 a day, trying to like chase what everybody else is doing. So anyways, guys, back to the chart over here. There's still nothing for us to take. I just thought there was gonna be a sell signal here, but there's still a higher high at this point. So we currently have a higher high, but there's a sell signal right here. So I thought that there was going to be a sell signal here, but there's not. So never mind. I take that back. We're now looking for a possible lower low. So we have a pending buy signal here, but in order for us to take a buy, we need to have a lower low at some point over here. Let's see. So Tom said, yeah, I got it yesterday, but I mean trades you do on the live, you aim for 1.5% risk, 0.5% profit. Yeah, that's what I do, but you don't have to do what I do, right? Not everybody here takes 100 lots. Not everyone here is on a 200K count. So it's different. You can always change your lot size. You can change, I mean, you can change whatever you feel like. So Tom said, I feel like 3% risk is a lot for an early challenge. Later in the challenge, if you need to change it to get a free retake or end of the delay. So here's the thing. If you guys are not confident with your entries, like you sound like you're not confident, Tom, because you think 3% risk is a lot. 3% risk is actually not a lot if you're not losing any trades, right? So for this week so far, we haven't had any trades that lost, right? We had 3 wins for this week so far. If you took all 3 trades, or 1, 2, 3 trades, you would have been risking 3% per trade, but you would have been up 3% now, right? So it wouldn't make a difference. The risk is still the same. It's, you know, you're still risking the same amount. It's just, you don't want to go past 5% because that's your max daily loss. You have a 10% total. We haven't had 3 losses for this entire month of April, right? So you do the math there. If you took every trade this month, you'd be up 13 trades for wins. It wouldn't matter if you're doing a 3% risk, a 5% risk, or, you know, anything higher. You still would make more profit because your goal here is to pass a challenge. You got to get 10%. You can't be scared for trading, taking a 0.5% risk, try to pass a challenge, and be worried about a 3% loss. So, yeah, you know, we'll talk about this like during the mentoring session again, Tom, because I feel like you're just not confident yet. So you're scared that, okay, you lose 3% and it's the end of the world for you, right? It's not. You could lose 10% for the entire challenge. So, you know, odds of you having 3 back-to-back losses, taking the official trades here, are very unlikely. We haven't had that. I don't think that's ever happened before for us. We barely have 2 back-to-back losses. I don't think that ever happens either. But yeah, let me look at the results for this. Yeah, so in March, we had 3 losses, but they weren't back-to-back. February, we had 4 losses, but they were definitely not back-to-back either. January, we had 2 losses. So if you're doing a 3% risk, I mean, it'd be like literally impossible for you to blow your account if you just took the proper trades. So yeah, I just want to make, you know, I feel like that's a big problem with a lot of people. They just don't understand the risk when they're trading. 3% risk is not a huge risk if you're not losing any trades, or if you're like barely losing any trades. All right, again, right here, guys, we currently have a higher high. Looks like price might come up and try to test the opening price right there, but it's not at that point yet. I mean, it might, but we don't have that yet. So there's a couple different scenarios here that can play out. We have a higher high, so price breaks and closes past the pivots 1 and 2 here with the sell signal. Then we could take this for a short. But if not, then I think price might push up and retest. Okay, this candle here is just way too big, so I'm not going to take this, guys. Or if I do, I'll wait for it to retrace a little bit. Currently have the sell signal right there pending, but this candle here is just way too big. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Morning. Yeah, exactly. Christian said he thinks 1.5% is enough for him. The thing that people think 1% is not enough, but in reality, it's just mindset. Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, if you guys need to, if you guys need to pass a challenge, you guys have to increase your lot size. There's no getting around it. Like with what Tom said, yeah, you can do what I'm doing, but if you really want to pass your challenge and you're confident about your entries, then you could just take a bigger risk. So for example, if you guys are taking a 3% risk per trade, then if you lose one trade, then just call it a day, right? That's the main thing that you guys can do. Because if you guys don't do that, then you guys can go into a deep hole. If you have 2 back-to-back losses with a 3% risk, then yeah, you're going to blow your account because you'll hit the daily loss limit. So I think what the thing with a lot of people is you need the discipline to know when to cut it out. Because if you revenge trade or you overtrade and you're doing a big risk, then yeah, you can definitely lose your account pretty quickly. Everything's good, Brock. We took 2 trades today. Looks like you missed out on the first 2. But we'll see if we have another one here. It's currently 7:47 right now. So we'll see how much we get from now until then. Let's just rejoin. All right, we have some profits over here from Patrick Steven, sorry. Close this real quick. There's no entry there for the sell because the sell signal never closed. We have Patrick over here, total profit of 2,186 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Patrick. So solid profits right there. We also have Ross over here. Crazy profits from Ross. So Ross over here is currently at 44,620 for the day. Again, guys, he took a lot of trades here pre-market. So these profits are not necessarily all from this morning. He took a lot of gold trades yesterday. Looks like during either London session or Asia session. But did make some pretty good profits right here as well for US30. So great work right there, Ross. Huge profits on your end. It's 7:49 right now, guys. So we have about 10 minutes until 8 o'clock. We already took 2 trades today, so I'm not going to stay on after 8. The only time I stay on after 8 is if we don't have any trades during our live session time. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. But at the moment, we're still looking for a trader. So don't worry, I'm not getting off the chat yet. I'm still on here for the next 10 minutes. We'll see if we could find something, but I don't think anything's going to come up from now until then. All right, Christian. Yeah, so Christian said he's happy with his profits and he's out. So all right, Christian, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. You too, Christian. We currently have a pending sell signal right here, but there's nothing there yet. But again, guys, I just want to touch on like what I mentioned earlier. So guys, if you guys are doing a challenge, all you need to do is increase your risk. You guys have seen the results from our live session trades here. If you guys just stick to the quality trades and you don't enter trades late, from yesterday's mentoring session, we kind of talked about a couple of things like with Martha and a couple other people in the group. So like with Martha's problem yesterday, not to single out Martha, but in general, a lot of people do this. Martha was trying to learn other strategies in the beginning. So she was applying strategies that she didn't know, and she ended up losing trades. So what I recommend is focus on one strategy. If you guys are not confident, just stick to what we're doing here on the live, which is the high level momentum scalp. this one only. And then from there, just build your account from that point. Once you guys are confident with this, then move on to other strategies. But there's no point in learning anything else until you guys have pretty much mastered at least the main thing. So just keep that in mind, guys. Focus on one strategy, use proper risk. If you want to pass your challenge right away, then just increase your lot size. But if you're okay with taking your time, then go for smaller profit potential, smaller risk. Because obviously it's not a good thing to pass your challenge quickly, because you're going to get too overly confident. And then you're just going to blow the account once you're funded. I've seen that happen to too many people. All right, no entries here yet. We currently have a higher high right here. We have a lower low down here. This is pretty much the range at the moment. Here's a big range. But this is going to be the smaller range. Let me see if I can identify that. This little green candle right here. All right, so this is pretty much the range right now between this area. As you guys can see, target price point is probably going to be opening price. Looks like price will break through the zone. And we'll test the opening price right there. But yeah, not too bad so far. So these are my profits for the week so far. For the day, I'm currently at 2080, 1980, 1180, 1080, and 1080. So I'm currently up 7,400 for the day across all my accounts. Not too bad. Pretty solid. If MFF gave me a little more, I'd probably be up another 3,000, but it's all good. Just got to deal with it until they hopefully fix things. Yeah, so CT said that his MFF had TP set at 9.5 points. It was set in MT4 at 8.5, then hit TP real quick and gave him 750. He's okay with the profits, but super strange how his TP was set 1 point short. Yeah, so it looks like, so CT is trying to figure out, what the problem is with MFF, but it looks like he's running into issues as well. So it looks like it's just on MFF side. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to keep playing with it, but I guess the issue is on the MFF side. All right, let's see. So Nick, here's Nick's input on like what we were just discussing. So Nick said, also keep in mind, if you're using a 5 lot on 100K count, it will take 20 winning trades to pass the challenge. Probably not going to happen within the time frame. Personally, what I do in any trade is that what he's taking with me is he takes an 8.5, and others he'll do a 6 lot. Gotcha. Yeah. So basically, what Nick said over here is that he'll take a bigger lot size when taking my live trades versus his own trades, which is smart because you guys understand that I have a high win rate. And then Nick said after he passes, he go back to a 5 or 6.5 lot. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing too, guys. Like I'm very conservative with my trades. I'm on a 200K count and I'm using a 100 lot with a 300 pip stop loss. I mean, technically I could go up to like, let me see. Because so a 5% risk is, let's see, 200,000 times 0.5. So I could technically lose 10,000 in one trade if I was just going for one loss, right? So if I was to take a trade like that, I could actually use, I think, let me see what the lot size would be. I could technically use a 300 lot if I really wanted to, and I'd still be within my parameters. Because if I did a 300 lot size and I use a stop loss of 300 pips, my risk would be 9,000. So I'd still be within my parameters. But I'm conservative because I'm already funded, so I don't need to go for those crazy, pushes or crazy profits. So I'm only using 100 lot. Yeah, Natasha said that's what I do. I take a bigger lot when trading with Sean and smaller lot when I'm trading on my own. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Nick said a sketchy sketchy AF with a slippage though. Makes sense to leave a couple of thousands for cushion. Yeah, exactly. So like for me, each trade I'm only risking 3,000. So I could literally lose like 3 back-to-back trades in one day before I reach my daily loss limit, which is probably not going to happen because if I ever lose one trade, I'm typically done for the day. All right, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So guys, it's 7:56 right now. It's getting really close to 8 o'clock. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm here to help you guys out, whether it's a question for trading or anything in general. Just let me know. Nick said, I think you'd reach your daily drawdown if you lost 3 trades though. So for me, I wouldn't, because I'm at I think you're talking about your number, right? Yeah, you said 150 would probably be safe. Yeah, so if you're doing 150 and you lose 3 back-to-back trades, then yeah, you'd probably reach your daily drawdown. If you're doing 100, you should be fine, because if you lose 3 back-to-back, you'd lose 9,000, and you can lose 10,000 in the day. The thing with me though is that I never have like if I lose a trade, I'm usually done, because that just messes with my trade psychology. I'm not used to losing trades ever. So if I lose a trade, I'm usually done for the day. Yeah, my daily drawdown is 10K. Sam said, I have a question. Where's the Glock? It's right here on my hip, Sam, at all times. I'm not joking. It's always here. I'm going to put like a secret. I'm going to set up a compartment right here under my desk, just in case. No, I don't have a Glock. I have a SD 40. I have a Smith & Wesson 40. I don't have a Glock. I was going to get a Glock for a conceal and carry, but I don't, conceal and carries are kind of weird out here in California. So I was going to get a smaller Glock for conceal and carry. But my main one is I have a 40 cal Smith & Wesson. That's the one that you guys saw on the live on Monday. If you guys were here on the live on Monday, we had like a little scare. I thought someone was trying to break into my home. So on the live session, I kind of just jumped out and I had my gun ready and I ran downstairs. So that's what a lot of people here are kind of referring to, what happened on Monday. Yeah, Martha said not in Texas. Yeah, in Texas, you can do whatever you want. It's crazy out there. Yeah, Daniel said get a SIG 365. I'm thinking about that. I'm looking at a CZ too, kind of like a CZ. Wesley said, being from the UK, this gun talk is wild. Yeah, I know it's crazy here in the US. It's the Wild West out here. Marina said only narcos and politicians use them. CT said he has an HK VP9 under his desk. Nice. Daniel said he had 40 guns at one point. Well, you live in Nevada too, right, Daniel? So you have like, your gun laws out there are a lot more lax too. It's a lot of guns. I have like 3 guns right now. I have a Benelli M4. So I have a semi-automatic shotgun. I got the Smith & Wesson 40, and then got a revolver. I want to get more. Like during COVID, I kind of like got into guns for a while because it felt like we were in a zombie apocalypse. So I started buying a bunch of guns, and yeah, they were fun for a while. All right, guys, I think that's it. So I know we went off topic right now with our conversation, but there's nothing for us to take here. It's 8 o'clock. Market's going sideways. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm here to help you guys out. So if there's anything that you guys have an issue with, if you guys are having problems with passing your challenge, I would recommend to figure out like what your issue is, because there should be no problem with you passing your challenge. If you look at the results for what we've had this week so far, this week we've had like 3 wins, right? If you look at our results for the year so far, I mean, everybody should have the opportunity to pass their challenge. I feel like everybody's problem is that they keep doing their own thing, or they just aren't following rules. So if there's any problems that you guys have passing your challenge or getting funded, reach out to me. I could help you guys out, or attend the mentoring sessions. because, my main goal here is for you guys to pass. I mean, for me, I'm already funded, so it's not really a big deal. I'm just kind of hanging out with you guys here in the morning. You guys keep me in check with my trades, so I'm not over trading or revenge trading. Like, for example, today I took like three trades, and they were all basically full TPs. I could have taken like 10 trades and I could have had like a couple losses, but since I'm here on the live with you guys, I'm kind of forced to stay within my parameters. Because if I start doing some crazy stuff, then I can't show you guys my profits, because then I'm gonna show you like 20 trades or whatnot. But I'm doing pretty good. So all right, guys, I think that's it for now. So let's see. Medusa, thanks, Sean. Appreciate the help. And Any Lee Green Day, definitely Madu. Angela said, I'm going to reach out, need to pass. Thanks for all you do, Sean. Definitely, Angela. Yeah, just reach out to me or reach out to anybody in the group. I mean, you can reach out to me, Sisu, CT, Kip, anybody really, Maddie. I know some of you guys feel kind of nervous to reach out to me, but I'll help you guys out. I think the main thing is to just attend the mentoring session to ask your questions, and I'll try to help you set up a trading plan to pass your challenge. So Anelli over here is currently up 2,910. Nice work, Nelly, on that recovery and back into the profit. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you. C6 said reach out to Sean in caps. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can message me on Telegram or email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the strategies, I went over a couple entries today, V1 variation. Just go to the website, click on unlock your free access right here. Once you click on that, go to the course. And once you pull up the free course, scroll down to scalping strategies. So you scroll down to scalping strategies, it's going to be this one right here, the V1 variation. It's the fourth module. So all this stuff's completely free. And, I try to make myself as available to you guys as I can. So, all right, guys, other than that, have a great rest of your day.